Now let's connect the remote part of the gesture control robot. I am using Arduino Nano for this project. Again, I am using a breadboard. So now what I am doing is I am trying to connect both the rails so that the supply can happen easily between these two rails. And now first let us connect the MPU 6050, which is an accelerometer and a gyro sensor. Now I am connecting the VCC to 5 volts. Then ground to the negative rail. After connecting this, since we already know about how the gyro sensor work, the SDA and SCL should be connected to the digital pin numbers. So let us connect it. But here we are using analog pin numbers in this project. So just to see the differentiation between how a digital pin works and how an analog pin works. So digital we have already used in our robotic car. So let us use the analog pins here. So I am connecting SCL to A5 and SDA to A4. And what is this SCL and SDA pin? So this is a pins for I2C protocol. Since we are using both gyro sensor and accelerometer in one sensor, so we will be getting a 6 pairs of value. So just to reduce the value flow into the microcontroller, we are using the I2C protocol. With the help of I2C protocol, what will happen? All the data which is being transferred from the gyroscope and accelerometer to the Arduino board will be like in a serial mode. So SCL means serial clock and SDA means serial data and address. So I have connected the pins of this particular gyroscope and accelerometer, and now I am connecting the initializing pin to D2. So we have finished the circuitry connection of the gyroscope and accelerometer. So now let us move on to the connection of a master part of our Bluetooth module. Let us go to the master part of our Bluetooth module. So I am connecting the Bluetooth module like this, where you can see it here. And now VCC to 5 volts, again the same connections. So whenever we are connecting the electronics, any modules, first we should connect the power and the ground, which is very much important. And the ground to the negative. So where you can see it here. So after connecting this, let's also connect the transmitter and the receiver part. So again, as I told, here we are connecting TX to digital pin number 10. TX to digital pin number 10. and RX2 digital pin number 11. So after making these two connections, now let us make few more connections for the button. So here button plays a major role. We are trying to control the whole of this circuit using this button to supply the power. So let's do it. So now let us connect the button. So this resistor which I am using is 10 kilo ohms, which acts like a voltage divider. And one end of the resistor I am connecting to ground, the other end to D8. And from D8 I am connecting the other wire to one end of the button. Like this. And the other end of the button should be connected to the 5 volts VCC. So as we have connected the ground here, so let me also do the common grounding to the circuit over here. And after all this connection, let us also power up the circuit to see whether it is working fine. So 5 volts to this supply, this rail, and the ground to ground from the Arduino. So now let us connect the battery for the circuit. Let us power up with the help of 9 volts battery. And as you can see here, both the Arduinos will be having an input voltage, that is nothing but Vin. So we can give a power supply, external power supply using these pins. So I am also doing the same here. And as you can see, our Arduino also lighted up and a Bluetooth module started blinking, which shows that it is also trying to get the signal, and also this gyro sensor is also powered on. So the remote part of the circuit is now being converted to the daughter's board connection. So why we have done this? So here if you see, all the wires are out and there will be lots of errors that can happen. Maybe the wires can become loose, and because of the wear and tear the wires can come out, because this is a breadboard connections. So to avoid all such confusions, let us now replace all these sensors to the already made PCB. So this part is for Bluetooth. I'm plugging in the Bluetooth, and the button part is already been connected. This button part is already been connected, and the resistor is already placed here inside here. If you can see the sensor, the accelerometer and gyro sensor, that will come here, and finally the brain itself. So this looks way more neater and easy to use. We can test using the breadboards, but for the final product design, we need to use some daughter's board like this, and later this can be manufactured as a PCB.